Hey guys, it's Coach MB here. Hey, I want to talk to you today about limiting beliefs. The dreaded, the dreaded limiting beliefs. We got to talk about it. So here's the thing: we all have them. We've had them at one point in our life or another. Limiting beliefs can be something that is conscious to us, where we're aware we have it. And sometimes the most insidious things are things that are limiting beliefs that we don't even know we have. And they show up in different ways in our life, and they will cause certain behaviors or patterns that I'm going to share with you today. So I want to start with, what is a belief anyway? What is a belief? Well, a belief is something that we hold to be true with absolute certainty. We hold it to be true with absolute certainty, makes it a belief. Now, we can have beliefs that are positive and empowering, right? Things that are good for us to believe. Then we can have some beliefs that are not so great for us, beliefs that actually hold us back, disempowering beliefs. And I want to share with you a story to illustrate how sometimes having the belief, we can actually remove it by creating another belief that's stronger to combat it or battle it out, right? So I want to share with you a story. It actually is a personal story of when my son Blake was about 4 years old. And at that time, Blake had this fear of monsters. And he would come in our room every night. There's a monster in the closet. There's a monster in the closet. There's a monster in the closet. And so I finally got to the point where I was like, this kid has to get some rest, and so do we. And I got to figure out a way to get these monsters to go. And so I went and took a can of Febreze. You guys, he couldn't read. He was 4 years old. Thank God, or this would never have worked. But I took a can of Febreze and I took a Sharpie marker. And I drew on the Febreze spray, I drew a picture of the monster's face with like jagged teeth. I put a big X through it. And I called it Monster Be Gone Spray. And so I called him in and I said, Blake, I have this spray that's called Monster Be Gone. And the moment I spray this in your room, the monsters don't like it. And when they smell it, they will leave your room immediately. You will never hear them, see them, feel them ever again once I spray the spray. Well, guess what happened? I sprayed the spray. Monsters left. Now, why did they leave? Well, they were both made up, right? They were both made up stories. Well, why did it work? It worked because he believed it. He believed that the power of the spray, he believed that so certainly and with such certainty that it was stronger now than the power of the belief of the monster. So he believed more in the spray than he did in the monster. And so the monster was gone. Well, guess what? We have limiting beliefs all over the place as different stages and phases of our life. And so I want to share with you some things that to consider as you reflect on what might be getting in the way. And how do you know if a limiting belief or a disempowering belief might be showing up for you? I want to share with you 6 things. Now, in the course of our conversation, if you find, oh man, I think I got some, what I want you to think about is, if you go to the website, you're going to find there's a free download there for you. And it's just a way for you to discover, uncover, and dismantle a limiting belief. It's something you can work through on your own if you choose to. It's a free download, just happy to help. If you find you need more help or you get stuck, of course, feel free to reach out and give me a call. But let's jump in and let's unpack 6 things that might be signs that you are dealing with with a limiting or a disempowering belief. Number 1, if you find that you have excessive self-doubt or negative self-talk. Now, negative self-talk often sounds like it's coming from the outside in. And you might hear it in your head as language starting with you, right? You are bad. You aren't good enough. You can't do this. You're fooling yourself. It can start with the word you, if it's a negative self-talk. And the power in that, the negative power in that is that it feels like it's coming from an authority. It's coming from outside of you. It feels like it's coming from an authority. It isn't coming from outside of you. So this idea of negative self-talk and negative self-doubt, I don't think I can. Oftentimes this will make us not even start, right? This can be so powerful that we won't even attempt to do something that we want. Number 2 is fear of failure and fear of rejection. Those are generally attached to limiting beliefs around you being good enough, around me being good enough. I'll tell you, this is one that I've struggled with for a very long time. Fear of rejection, fear of what will people think. Through doing the work that I do, that's gotten certainly a lot better. But there was a time when just that fear of rejection and what will people think would have caused me never even to put this video up for you to listen to. So fear of rejection can indicate that there's an underlying limiting belief where it's either about being deserving, worthy, accepting. Third thing that may be a sign that you are dealing with a limiting belief is procrastination. Procrastination is not just a bad habit, guys. It's not. Maybe for some it is at times, but it is not solely a bad habit. For many, procrastination is actually the result of a deep-seated limiting belief. There was a person that I worked with not all that long ago who had a deep belief attached to procrastination, where procrastination was really getting in their way. And it just kept showing up. And here's what they found at the very end. As we dug to find the belief was actually this: I would rather people think that I'm lazy than to know that I'm not good enough. Think about that for a second. I would rather people think that I'm lazy, so I'll put off doing things, than for them to know that I'm not good enough. They're going to find out. That was a deep belief that he was not consciously aware of. That would literally make him not do things that he needed to do, wanted to do, deserved to do, because that belief was driving the bus. Isn't that something? If we can shed daylight on the belief, we can remove it. So procrastination, we'll see that as oftentimes rooted to a limiting belief. Number 4, settling for mediocrity. When we find that we live well below our potential, when we are in relationships that we know are not right and healthy for us, when we are in jobs that we know are not right and healthy for us, when we do not live to our potential, quite often there is a belief that's hidden underneath that says either you don't deserve it, you're not good enough, what's the point, right? A worthiness. There's something generally in that. So if you find that I know that I deserve better, I know that I'm made for more, and I am not going forward, why? I want you to assess, is there a belief that supports that decision? Number five, guys, comparison and jealousy. That's just not a bad habit or a character flaw. Comparison and jealousy, where we're always looking to see what somebody else is doing and how they're better, and then getting jealous about someone else's success, is oftentimes really deeply rooted in a limiting belief. Number 5 is negative patterns, repeating negative patterns. Have you ever known, and maybe you've done this yourself, where you do the same thing over and over again, and you say to yourself, I can't believe I'm doing this again. I can't believe I'm doing this again. Here it is again. It's showing up again. Oftentimes you have a program that's running unconsciously that is tied to a belief, and you will not stop running that play until you figure out what that belief is and you move through it and move it out. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, that if you find any of those limiting beliefs are showing up that are present for you, and please don't be surprised if you do. We all have them. We're human. That's part of the human condition, right? Know that you don't have to stay there. Know that you don't have to stay stuck. Know that there are options available to you. Start with the download. Reach out. Let me know if you have any questions. We're here to help and support you. But these beliefs, like the Monster Be Gone spray, they're not real. They're not real. And so I look forward to hearing all the success stories. Shoot me a text, shoot me a DM, post something on Facebook. Let me know how this impacts you, what discoveries that you came up with, and how you're going to go forward, what you're going to change. Proud of you for even listening. And if you're listening this far, thank you. But again, limiting beliefs are just made up. They're not true. So thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Take care.